All right, it's official. It is 10 miles an hour, maybe tops at 11, but averaging 9. So we're out here at the Skyway Bridge, and I have CORE Kiteboarding's new kite, the Air. They make it in 2 different versions, and today's video is all about which one should you buy, or should you buy the Air at all? CORE Kiteboarding is known for their performance kites, and well, they're saying that this is the new Lightwind performing machine. 3 struts. Let's get into the details. Stay tuned, and I'm going to put it through the true test out in the perfect conditions for what this kite's made for. Hey everyone, let's get started with just the intro to the kites. We have the ExoTex right here. It is looking pretty fantastic with the different blues and golds and blacks. I gotta tell you, right when you open up your brand new kite, you're kind of like, wow, like opening up a new diamond ring in a little box. It's actually quite beautiful, but not as beautiful as the Pro version. The Pro version with its whites and golds and the silvers going on, and with that yellow gold, what they're calling is gold in the sky, Alula. So the variations between the 2 kites is, well, ExoTex. ExoTex is going to be their patented Dacrut on the leading edge and also struts, but also going over to the Pro, it's strictly Alula for the struts and Alula for the leading edge. Now, one thing I do have to say is that today's test is going to have a slight variation. We're going to have the standard sensor bar on the ExoTex, and we're going to have the Pro bar for the Alula. Well, it's a Pro kite. Might as well put the Pro bar on the Pro kite. Doesn't make a slight performance upgrade. Yes, 100%. The Pro bar is for pro riders to feel a little bit more feedback in their actual bar. So there's going to be some variations. But hey, if you're going to spend the money on Alula, spend the money on the Pro bar. 100% it is an upgrade. So that is the one variation. Now, as far as like the kites and the design features and the canopy, all that's kind of the same. Of course, with the Alula, they can go with a little skinnier leading edge and, of course, a little skinnier struts and layout. But I'm not here to measure those out. I'm here to see what it feels like in the sky and if it has the hype. So let's get out to the water. What we're going to do today, try a 165 out, a 137 Big Air carved board out, and also a skim board out. Today's video is strictly as low as it gets, the lightest wind possible on a 17-meter kite. Let's get out in the water. Let's go have some fun. Okay, so it's official. Just got it in off the water, and it's blowing 8 to 9 miles an hour. And I had a good time. I went out on the ExoTex and also the Pro Kite, 17-meter Air by CORE Kiteboarding. It was a blast. And I'm glad that I was able to get out for a ride. Nobody else here at the Skyway Bridge, just enjoying my Sunday morning. And so let's get into the characteristics and what I felt behind the bar. So let's get into the characteristics of the kite and the feeling that I had behind that bar. In the end, I'm super grateful just to get out in 10 knots and be able to ride and enjoy 3 different size boards or 3 different styles. And I'm just super glad for that. But let's talk about the actual performance of the kite. I was blown away, no pun intended, blown away with the sheer fact that it actually has a lot of little boost characteristics in it. And although I'm only getting 2 to 3 foot, and I didn't have the expectations to actually do any kind of boost, I was going to just do surface stuff. it actually had some lift to it. And both kites had the same characteristic of having a lofty lifting sensation even on a down loop or a back loop, which I'm really intrigued to see what this kite does in higher breeze. So stay tuned for that video, because we're gonna have to do another one just in higher breeze, meaning like 15 to 18 knots. Right now, being only 9 to 10, I do have to say that the feeling back in the bar itself, really super light. The kite seems to turn just as fast, and I'm gonna go with that age-old saying, turns just as fast as like a 14 or a 12 meter kite, but you're on a 17 meter platform with power that a 17 should have. The loops are actually looping on their own rotation instead of actually going around the wingtips and these long sprawled out loops. I had to slow down the loops a little bit. I didn't have to pitch pull the bar. I actually only had to turn the bar maybe 3/4 of the way, and the kite was actually almost going on its own rotation. It was just kind of blowing me away a little bit that how fast it was. So let's talk about what's the difference. Why should you go gold or why should you go ExoTex? Let's talk about the ExoTex first. It has this characteristic, that loft, as you send it. It goes up and over a little past your head, past 12. It doesn't sit back in the pocket. And it gives you this like secondary lift, especially when you are landing. And I'm talking 7 to 10 miles an hour. Overall, the frame itself was super stiff and no flexing, no jellyfish. Kind of strange for it being such a high aspect 3-strut kite. It's not just for 10 knots, it's going to perform in 15 to 18, like I said earlier, because I think this thing's gonna outperform all the other kites on the market in the higher breezes. Let's talk about the gold, the Alula version of the Air versus the ExoTex. I like to say it's simply put, either you buy silver or you buy gold. Some kites out there on the market these days, the Alula isn't actually too much better than their standard Dacron versions. And I do have to say that that's a little different for the Air. The Air is actually a really nice, pronounced performance upgrade. The ExoTex, certainly a great platform, certainly a great way to get you into Lightwind. And if you do invest in the ExoTex and you really fall in love with that platform, I know you're gonna fall in love with the upgrade of the Alula. I'd say like the loops are a lot tighter. It's gonna be on its own axis. It's gonna fly faster through the window, about 15 to 20% faster. It's also gonna fly in a little bit lighter breezes, but that doesn't mean much if it's any lighter than 7. I don't think anybody's going to be riding. If we go into the longevity, I don't think that you're going to have any benefits in longevity of the Alula versus the ExoTex. So in the end, this is definitely the upgrade. I really super enjoy it. Am I gonna ride the Alula version? Yes, 100%. I'm sold after today's performance. ExoTex though, you know, if you just want to get in that platform, don't let it hold you back. Don't say to yourself, I got to save up for the Pro. Go with the ExoTex. It's going to be phenomenal. You're going to love it, I promise. So we did the multiple board tests, like the 165, 137, and a skim board, just to try it out, because other kites on the market usually pull like a truck. You need a big board with a long edge on it to really push you upwind. If you don't have that long edge, you just kind of get dragged downwind. And I found that the Air had like this really docile, really easy pull to it that really actually wanted to bring you upwind. So the 137 I had no problem staying in place. I wasn't really going upwind, but I can't wait for like a higher breeze day, like 15, 18 knots to really try the 137 on. In the end, I'm just super stoked to be able to get out in the water, but when a kite exceeds my expectations on its performance side, that really intrigues me. So I want to leave you with one note, is please like and subscribe and hit that bell button so that you guys will be notified when we actually put this kite in higher breezes. We want to test out the high end on it and its performance. I think it's going to, again, exceed those expectations. In addition, we do have these things for demo. We have them 15 or 17 meters, both in the silver and the gold for you guys to use at any point. Just give us a call, hit us up, text us, whatever the case may be. I'd like to leave off on one other note is thank you for, supporting our shop throughout all the many years, and also getting out on the water, taking lessons from our lesson center. We truly appreciate your support. I can't wait for that next session with you guys, and we'll see you out in the water.